Alright, I've been working on this bench work, got it finished just a couple days ago, and started laying track. Kind of getting a rough estimate. None of this that's down is permanent, it's just laying there for now. But I am probably going to leave this here, make it a roadway for the semis to get to the elevator. And each one of these re-railers, I'm actually going to use them as actual spots, like spot 1, spot 2 for each hopper that I put in. The track closest to the elevator will not be actually at the elevator because it's going to be an unloading facility. So I'm going to put some unloading ramps cut out in here because I got some augers to go in. Then I've got a double slip turnout here, and we'll have a couple tracks going. I haven't decided if I'm going to put the actual mail building in this section here or if I'm going to run it against the back wall. I do have 2 tracks for it and 2 tracks over here. I just haven't made a final decision on that yet. And then, like I said, I'm just playing around with different track. I've got brass, nickel, silver, and Bachman, Atlas. Most of my tracks going to be Atlas. I'll probably use some of the hidden areas with Bachman Easy Track. Like this curve's going to be kind of hidden anyway. But right where the curve ends there, I plan on having all scenery where all this junk I've got piled up is. But there's going to be a mountain back in here with a track probably 3 or 4 inches high. And then a track on the regular bottom down here. It's actually going to be, main's going to be up top on the mountain, and the siding is going to be a few inches below. And they'll go all the way down here and meet back up in this area. And then I've got a monster Atlas curve turnout. And the inside will go down until this leg here, where I'll have a little bit of street running, just kind of a downtown area. And at the end of the table, I'll have a couple little industries. And either an industry on this end or this end, haven't decided yet, but there will at least be 2 tracks serving this little island. I guess it's not. But anyway, losing my voice. Anyway, and then the back track from that curve will go all the way back here. And about where that piece of easy track is and those train cars, that's where my yard will begin. And then the building in the back, I'm using it for a scrap, just bale area. So it'll get 1 scrap car. And then my yard, which probably have 4 to 5 tracks, which I'll probably have filled up because it's definitely going to take a lot of cars to run my shelf layout here. But yeah, that's what I've got done so far. Sorry for the huge mess. I've pretty much dug out every train item I have, besides train cars, which I've got a few on the layout just for testing the track purposes. Yeah, that's what I've got so far, and I hope you stay tuned and see what else I got for you. How y'all doing? This is another layout update. 3rd week of September. I went to the store yesterday and I went to Hobby Lobby and got some, sorry it's hard to focus here, got some of that realistic water to try out on the river. Not much has changed here at the elevator, but I got my track in, some train cars set up on here now. And also, so I'm trying 3 different types of water. The realistic water, like I just showed you. I got one of these plastic pattern sheets that you can either paint or put on top of something that's already painted. And then my friend gave me some of them beads that you heat up and put down from Woodland Scenics. I tell you what, my friend, he hooked me up with some plaster for my mountains, a couple buckets down there, and he hooked me up with some road bed. Sorry, my layout's a total disaster looking area right now, because I've dug out everything that I have pretty much. But this is going to be my river. I started painting on it yesterday. That's not the official colors or anything, but I put a bunch of paint up against the edges to hold the road bed in place. It's going to be a real shallow river. Got the grades and everything ready to go. Once I get this painted the way I want it, I'm going to test out those water features, and I'll make sure to put that in one of the videos. It may be a next part of this current video, or it might be one in the future. That's just kind of a heads up on water feature. But all I really did is I took some road bed, laid it down, took some excess paint, kind of put it around, kind of give it some layers. And now just some extra blue paint I had lying around. I was kind of mixing it in. But I think I'm going to go for more murky type of color since it's going to be shallow water. But yeah, the main line is the one in the back. And then the siding is this one here. That'll be kind of neat to have two separate, kind of a wider area for the lines to cross the river. I've decided this is going to be Liberty River, and the town that I'm going to have along the river is going to be Liberty. This is going to be the town. Just kind of a few things that I've been thinking about. And then when the siding ends, it takes the curve, and where the curve begins, that's going to be all Paris. Sorry for the focusing issues with the camera. But yeah, gonna be Paris. There we go, got that a little bit in better focus for us. And that crossing that's right there, one of them Bachman or lifelike ones, the little dinging bell and everything in it. So what I did with that little project, I got it over here. I took my Dremel and I cut it down to where just the crossing is, and I'm going to use just that piece of track for a crossing for the second deck, which will be up here somewhere once I get the woodwork for it. And then I'm going to model the town of Flora, Illinois up here. Most of my friends, they've modeled Flora. My friend Lee, as you've seen on some of my other videos, he's got kind of the downtown and the siding of Flora on the B&O St. Louis line. And then got my friend Victor, he's kind of modeling down south on the old Beardstown, Shawneetown line, which I used to model, and I got some videos of that and some of my older YouTube videos. But I decided I'm going to model Flora on the north side of town. I've never seen anybody model that section. And there's a grain elevator to model and a asphalt plant. So I'm going to model that eventually and get that up and going. But here's some other projects I'm going to be working on. Got the chicken house, food dealership. I don't know where exactly I'm going to put it. I got this giant warehouse. I'm actually going to cut it in half. One of them is going to be a Kmart distribution center, because I always liked Kmart as a kid. So it's going to be Kmart DC. Probably have a train, a couple box cars to it. And then I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with the other half, what I'm going to call it, but it's got loading doors on the other side. This is just kind of some other stuff I'm getting ready. Because this is going to be the little town of Olney. Got a little bit of street running because I'm going to do the north side of town on it as well. Alright y'all, that's my week 3 update of the layout. Stay tuned for more. Sorry for it being a little dark, but I did finally get the yard the way I kind of wanted it. I know it looks a little goofy with the main line there curving out and then a little zigzag there, but that's just gonna be for short hoppers, so it ain't gonna be no big deal. Because where that CENI broken hopper is, I'm gonna put some buildings, possibly a small cement factory there. So I just have little tiny ballast cars. And I got my yard tracks. I got a little bit of ballast on some of them. Just some ballast I had left over. And I got my work train camp cars on the main track. And then I do have a single slip turnout, which I got it running back here, and I'm gonna have a little fuel facility. And then I'm gonna park my cabooses. I'm gonna have a couple of them over here, and then also use these tracks as switching tracks for the yard. And I did manage to get some main line up to this point. And then I got a couple cabooses back here where the scrap yard's gonna be. The Pennsylvania caboose, I'm gonna put a sign up on the other end, say Marvis Scrapping. The Conrail caboose, I'm gonna turn it into a building. And here's what I've got done on the river, which I was gonna do a video of how I made the river, but I'm not quite there yet. I'm not quite done, I should say. I found the color that I really like. It came from another YouTuber, and I'll put his video below. He did a lot better job and more detail than what I'm planning on doing. I know it kind of looks a little funky right there, a little darker blue, but it's green, blue, and gray mixture is what the color of the water is. And then I used, this time I used, it's hard to see, but I used the realistic water reskin thing that you can get at the Hobby Lobby. And I put a little island of rock in there and a little bit of rock around the bridge area. I'm gonna put last little bit of this stuff on top, give it one more layer. Of course my camera's not focusing real good right now, but it looks a lot better up close than what it does on here. There we go, that's a little more focused. But I still got to get another layer on there, and I'm going to put some waves, make it look like it's an actual running water. But that's what I got done so far. And that'll be the end of September update. And then once October rolls around in a few days, I'll put up another update.